When you think about the younger generation, you probably start to picture a bunch of weird kids wearing weird clothes, listening to weird music, doing weird things they probably shouldn't be doing. And you're right. There's some things about my generation that I'm not too proud to talk about. But as I sat back and thought about all these horror stories that I've heard about my generation, I began to realize these things totally misrepresent our generation entirely. There's a lot of ambition, dreams, goals, ambition, oh, I already said that. Innovation and aspirations in my generation that I'm sure will take our country far one day. So, coming out of public school, well, actually, while I was in public school, I experienced a lot of stuff. And I was exposed to a lot of crazy and wild things that people in an environment like John Cooper might find really unusual, to say the least. So, coming out of elementary school and into middle school, some of my friends started hanging out with some of the older kids. Now, the problem with this, though, was that some of the older kids were engaging in activities that weren't so productive. Some of the older kids were into things like, some serious things like dealing drugs, and some of them would steal from gas stations, and some of them would even go as far as stealing cars. Now, I know this all sounds really wild and crazy, but to us, these things were almost normal. Now, as all this was happening around me, and I was getting older, I started to realize that not everybody in my school was a bad person. From little things like selling gum or reselling shoes, I started to realize that a lot of my friends were building skills that they would eventually use when they would become adults. So, aside from selling legal things, a lot of my friends had aspirations to become stars one day. Some even become basketball stars. One player I can recall, especially, was named Cameron. Cameron was a star not only on the basketball court, but he also had some pretty awesome looking grades. Cameron would go for early workouts in the mornings and would also stay after basketball practice every single day to get a few extra shots in. Now, Cameron is in 11th grade and goes to College Park and plays alongside Quentin Grimes, who is the number 8th ranked basketball player in the entire United States. Now, coming from a public school to a private school, I believe I have been able to see both ends of the spectrum. With the negative end of the stick, there's usually always a positive end. Now, some of my friends at John Cooper have been doing some amazing things that you only read about in Time magazine. One, for example, is Jaden. This is Jaden's Spotify account. Now, all over SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, he's ranked over millions and millions of plays over the music that he creates every single day. And he's become pretty popular in his genre, which is called lo-fi. And people subscribe to him, just listen to his songs. Now, another friend who's doing some amazing things is named Pablo. Pablo lives in our own city and organizes annual walks to raise awareness for human rights every single year. Now, another handsome and dashing, inspirational young man who is doing some amazing things in our own town is me. Now, I have my own YouTube channel where I upload my music to over 10,000 subscribers, and I've begun selling my music not only just a few short months ago. Now, this list is pretty short, but I'm pretty sure it's easy to see that not every single teenager just sits home playing Fortnite doing nothing with their lives. So, to kind of wrap things up, I just wanted to say that I've been exposed to a lot of things, from dealers to entrepreneurs, from criminals to rising basketball stars. And now, through all these experiences, I've come to realize that all the stereotypes and horror stories that I've heard about my generation totally misrepresent us. There's a lot of dreams, ambitions, goals, innovation, and drive. We all have goals and aspirations that we strive towards every single day. And that's why I believe my generation will be the generation to advance the world. I believe that my generation will be the one to change the stereotypes about teenagers, because I believe in the class of 2020. Thank you for your time.